The chief priests and the Pharisees gathered the Sanhedrin for a meeting. "What are we accomplishing?" they asked. "This man is performing many signs. If we let him continue, everyone will believe in him, and the Romans will come and take away both our temple and our nation." Then one of them, named Caiaphas, who was high priest that year, spoke up. "You know nothing at all. You do not realize that it is better for one man to die for the people than for the whole nation to perish." John chapter 11, verse 47 to 50.
Protecting his own power and preserving public order were now his highest priorities, and Caiaphas knew that Jesus must die.
What if I told you that a discovery made in 1990 could change how we understand one of the most significant events in history? The trial, condemnation, and crucifixion of Jesus Christ have always been at the heart of Christian faith. But what if the tomb of the very man who orchestrated Jesus' death, Caiaphas, the high priest, revealed shocking evidence that ties directly to these events? The discovery of Caiaphas' tomb and its contents has sparked intrigue, debate, and even fear among scholars and believers alike. What did archaeologists find? How does it connect to the crucifixion of Jesus Christ? And what does this discovery mean for us today? Before we dig into the chilling details of this discovery, make sure to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss any of our deep dives into biblical history, archaeology, and mysteries of faith. Now, let's unravel the story behind Caiaphas' tomb and its connection to the crucifixion of Christ. Caiaphas, or Joseph Caiaphas, served as the Jewish high priest from AD 18 to 36 during the Roman occupation of Judea. His position was not just religious, but deeply political. As high priest, Caiaphas acted as a mediator between the Jewish people and the Roman authorities, working to maintain order and prevent uprisings. His tenure as high priest was longer than most, a testament to his political savvy. Caiaphas knew how to navigate the treacherous waters of Roman-Jewish relations, but his methods often came at a spiritual cost. The high priesthood, once a sacred institution, had become a tool of political power, and Caiaphas wielded it ruthlessly. In the Gospels, Caiaphas is portrayed as a man deeply threatened by Jesus. The miracles, teachings, and growing following of this Galilean carpenter posed a serious challenge to the authority of the religious elite. Caiaphas feared that Jesus' popularity could provoke the Romans into cracking down on the Jewish people, potentially destroying the temple and their nation. To Caiaphas, Jesus had to be stopped. This is why he called an emergency meeting of the Sanhedrin, where he made his infamous statement, "It is better for you that one man die for the people than that the whole nation perish." John chapter 11, verse 50. This wasn't just a political calculation. It was the beginning of the plan to have Jesus arrested, tried, and executed. The trial of Jesus was anything but fair. The Gospels describe it as a rushed and chaotic affair, held under the cover of night to avoid public outcry. In Matthew chapter 26, verse 59 to 68, we see how the Sanhedrin, under Caiaphas' leadership, sought false witnesses to testify against Jesus. Despite their efforts, they couldn't find anything substantial until Jesus himself declared, "You will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." At this, Caiaphas tore his robes and accused Jesus of blasphemy, declaring him worthy of death. This act, dramatic and symbolic, showed Caiaphas' determination to see Jesus executed. But here's the irony. While Caiaphas thought he was silencing a threat, he was actually fulfilling divine prophecy. In his attempt to preserve the status quo, he became an unwitting instrument in God's plan of salvation. The discovery of Caiaphas' tomb was accidental but extraordinary. While workers were constructing a road in Jerusalem's Peace Forest in 1990, they unearthed an ancient burial cave. This was no ordinary tomb. It contained 12 ossuaries, stone boxes used to store the bones of the dead during the Second Temple period, 516 BCE to 70 CE. Among these, one ossuary stood out. It was highly decorated, with intricate carvings and traces of bright orange paint, suggesting it belonged to someone of great importance. Inscribed on its side were the words, "Joseph, son of Caiaphas." This name instantly caught the attention of archaeologists, as it matched the high priest mentioned in the New Testament as a central figure in Jesus' trial. Inside this ornate ossuary were the bones of a man estimated to be around 60 years old, consistent with what we know about Caiaphas' age at the time of his death. But the tomb held something even more intriguing: 2 nails. The discovery of nails in Caiaphas' tomb has left experts puzzled. These 2 rusty nails, each about 2 inches long, were found near the ossuaries. Their presence has sparked a wave of theories, with some suggesting they could have been used in crucifixions. Crucifixion nails were often believed to have supernatural powers in ancient times. Some people thought they could ward off evil spirits or bring healing, which might explain why they were buried alongside someone like Caiaphas. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Could these nails be connected to the crucifixion of Jesus? While there is no direct evidence tying them to the cross, the fact that they were found in the tomb of the very man who condemned Jesus adds an eerie layer of significance. One particularly interesting find was the inscription on another ossuary, referring to Miriam, daughter of Yeshua, son of Caiaphas. This inscription connects the family to the Maaziah priestly order, giving us a clearer picture of Caiaphas' lineage and standing in society. But the presence of the nails remains the most haunting discovery. Were they symbolic? Were they tools used in an execution? Or do they hold a deeper, darker connection to Jesus' crucifixion? The mystery lingers, inviting us to reflect on Caiaphas' role in this story. What makes Caiaphas' story so fascinating is how his words and actions, meant to destroy Jesus, ended up confirming the truth of the gospel. In John chapter 11, verse 51 to 52, the Apostle John explains that Caiaphas' statement about one man dying for the nation was not made on his own, but was a prophecy from God. Caiaphas believed he was acting to save his people politically, but in reality, Jesus' death would bring spiritual salvation, not just for the Jewish nation, but for all humanity. The Apostle Paul echoes this truth in Romans chapter 5, verse 8. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Caiaphas thought he was condemning a heretic. Instead, he was helping to fulfill God's ultimate plan for redemption. The discovery of Caiaphas' tomb and its contents serves as a powerful reminder of the physical and historical reality of the events described in the Bible. It connects us to the people, places, and struggles of the first century, grounding the gospel story in real history. But it also challenges us to reflect on the deeper spiritual truths. The nails found in Caiaphas' tomb may never be definitively linked to the crucifixion, but their presence forces us to consider the weight of Jesus' sacrifice. Caiaphas sought to preserve his power and his world, but in doing so, he became part of a story far greater than himself, a story of love, grace, and redemption. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history and faith. If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more incredible discoveries and insights into the world of the Bible. See you next time.